Hey, welcome back to 2DG.
Two.
We've got a beer review for you, finally.
I know. Crazy. So we wanted to do something a little bit different and local just because it's been a long time, in all honesty. So we chose to go with a GABF winner, brewery-wise, with Zaftig Brewing Company. They are out of where?
Columbus, greater Columbus area. North.
Okay.
North of Columbus. Ohio. Sorry.
Yeah, Worthington, actually.
Yeah,
Ohio.
greater
Anyway,
Columbus.
So we have the Zaftig Bourbon Stout, or ZBS, which I assume is some sort of, I don't know, pot shot, I guess, at KBS or CBS. But anyway, more on that to come. Yeah, it's their bourbon barrel aged stout. Nothing crazy that they throw in there. Just chocolate flavors. Yeah, nothing crazy. Anyway,
10%.
10%.
This is batch 117 of 2017. There you go.
All the info. All right, let's get this open. If you look in here, it is filled to the brim.
Is it? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the others weren't. So.
Yeah, let's see if this falls. If it shoots out, I guess.
Nope.
All right, let's see.
Let's get to the pour.
All right. Don't have the what's called proper glassware for this as far as brewery wise, but anywho, make sure this is all even, Steven. It's pouring a little bit lighter than I thought for being 10%, but no biggie. No biggie. I think I was a little generous to you there.
Thank you.
Right, so looking at her here, black but with a lot of brown that you can see along the edges and on the bottom. No real head to stick around, 10%. Expectation there.
Strangely. We got a fair amount of carbonation sitting on the bottom. Did you give me a dirty glass here?
Maybe. Stiction wise, not bad.
It's got some legs, but not.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's clear.
Yeah. Just a little thin. Alright, let's smell. It's got a lot going on though.
Yeah, it smells like.
Well, don't stop there.
Well, it reminds me of the one, my big stout. But it's got that graininess to it, that nearing soy sauce fermentation smell.
I mean, it's raw, so kind of that raw toasted grain. A lot of bourbon, a lot of alcohol. Vanilla is there.
Yeah.
Almost got like a graham cracker type of smell towards the back. Definitely boozy.
It's what I like in a good bourbon stout. So
Yeah, and it is probably a little warmer, but pretty close.
yeah,
Where
it's,
you would
it's
normally
close to
wanna have
serving temp.
All right, let's taste it.
Okay. First thing I want to say, I like that back end. The mouthfeel, because it does look a little thinner, but it's not. This is like other Zaftig beer I've had that a lot of residual sugar, and it really coats your mouth. It's not thick like syrup, and it's not thin like water. It's got a real nice mouthfeel. Coats it up real nice. This has actually got a lot of really good flavors going on. I would almost go with the follow-through is what's more amazing. I think the follow-through is more complex than the initial taste of the beer. It's kind of got there is a chocolate note that runs through it, but after you swallow it, it quickly melds into it like a toasted, like a brown sugar, caramel, a little bit of a roast coffeeness in there, almost a toffee. There's quite a bit happening on the back. I really like that.
So it is a weird kind of argument. It is thin, but it does coat well, like he said, which is a little weird.
but not sticky.
And so right at the front, you get an alcohol punch, kind of like just straight bourbon. Honestly, there's a ton of bourbon in this thing. Reading the bottle real quick while he was talking, they do age this in Four Roses barrels, which Four Roses is delicious. So that's cool. And they do throw in vanilla beans after. But in that you get, like I said, a ton of that alcohol, and it goes all the way up to the sinuses. It does. A lot of kind of almost like semi-sweet chocolate flavor in there, which I didn't expect. I think that's kind of the vanilla playing off of it as well. A lot of dark cherry in there too. That's more so towards the mid to end.
That's a good call.
Super dry. That to me is where you get more of kind of like that raw burnt coffee at the end. I'm not getting quite as much of that toffee. Give me one moment.
My first drinks did. I think it's mellowed out now. That if I cleansed, I probably would again. But
yeah, overall, a lot of alcohol. Here's the thing: I don't mind alcohol in a high ABV stout, but 10% isn't, relatively speaking, that high. So I'm a little disappointed in that aspect. But if you look at it, the first time you ever have a big bourbon barrel-aged stout that's done well, a lot of those characteristics are in here. So you can't say that I'm overall disappointed.
No, and I just want to add that I think the alcoholicness of it actually is welcome this time of year. I don't know when you're watching this, but right now it's December, and
it's below 30. It's cold.
Yeah, and it helps to clear those sinuses. It's actually kind of nice. Warms you up, clears your sinuses. I like that this time of year.
Winter warmer sort of thing. So this one, and we tried to look to see if it was listed anywhere on the old AB InBev owned rate beer. I want to patent that saying, by the way. It doesn't have it technically classified. Well, actually, we couldn't find it, but I'm going to say that it's just an imperial stout. We don't, as you say, we don't ever differentiate between imperial stout and bourbon barrel stout or whatever. So imperial stout, which is high up there if you've watched our channel for a long time in the old preferences. Where are you going to go?
I'm actually going to sit around an 8. I really like it. I'm toying with an 8.5 though, but I can't go higher. I like the 8, but sorry.
Those darn emails.
I like the 8. That's so tough, man. I'm going to stick it an 8. I think 8's fair. I like what's going on. I really enjoy it, but I think, I don't know. This is horrible. I just feel like...
This isn't horrible.
No.
Mind you.
I can't... I'm going to go an 8.5. And the reason I'm going to go an 8.5 is because I don't find a lot of fault. But I think that some of the flavors could be balanced a little better. I think as much as I like that grainy smell, I really admire the stouts that can get rid of that. And there is quite a bit of alcohol in the smell. 8.5. It's good. Real good.
Couple things, and this one I just noticed. But first and foremost, I want to say that there's no label on, or there's no date on here, which...
that's supposed to be the
bottle. Well, great. Well, they told me what year.
And the batch.
I'm not going to look it up. So, there's no date. Theoretically, I guess if we tried hard enough, we could find one. But
However...
But I don't want to try that hard.
It's a stout.
Well, that was my point. My point, part 2, is you don't necessarily need it, but for aging purposes, I would like some sort of idea, and that leads me into this part, being that it is very young. I'm assuming that this was probably bottled less than 3 months ago. I think even that might be generous. So with you giving it an 8.5, I'm at least glad you went up because the 8 was hellacious. I give it a 9. It's very young, so I am giving it points off for that aspect. It hasn't molded together, but at the same time...
Not that that's the brewery's fault.
No, it's not. But at the same time, I'm not taking off nearly as much as I would, say, if this was a year old.
Right.
Balance is there somewhat, despite the fact it's a young age.
Better than many, though.
Yeah. The initial aroma, which if you don't know, it's the first time you sniff something is the best one you're going to get. So really try to take it all in on that first initial push because that's the best you're going to get. So that's what I tried to do. And it was awesome, reminiscent of your big boys and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not quite as good, but right up there. It is a little too boozy still. That I will blame on the brewery to an extent. Again, age is going to take care of that, smooth it out, not have it have as much heat. But overall, an awesome attempt, and these guys are still fairly small. Now, the other little nuance that I wanted to notice is this label is made to look, and I don't know if you noticed this, like leather, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I love their label.
Because leather is generally something that you can get in these kind of beers. I don't get it in this one, but earthiness or leather is the kind
Not
of
only
thing.
does it have that leathery texture, but it's got that nice reflective red. I mean, it's just the contrast is gorgeous. I think that's a beautiful label.
Yeah, the other downfall is it's a little too thin.
Yeah, I think a little more thickness. And you know what? This is a perfect base, too. One of those where you start getting in that hangy territory, maybe a little marshmallow and some other stuff. I would love to try some variations on these.
Here's the thing, I'm not going to count it too far against them because, number one, I don't know how big these guys are, which I guess is kind of a catch-22 because like, if you're small enough and your distribution isn't kind of that dependent on getting it out there consistently all the time, you can boil it longer, take longer to age it, that kind of thing. For them, being as small as they are, and I believe probably trying to get a footnote kind of thing going on, or a hold, yes, excuse me, they probably want to get it out there. So
I can tell you that I know that they had pushed out some distribution and they've recently pulled it back.
did they?
Yeah, they had...
Which don't be alarmed because big guys like Dogfish had have done that as well.
They've just... I don't know that they were completely satisfied with their distribution, so they're refocusing, and so go out and go find Zaftig if you have to go to Columbus. Go to Columbus. There's loads of breweries in that general vicinity, Columbus, Ohio. Check them out, man. We didn't even get to overall yet.
Correct. Yeah, we haven't gotten to our overall
It's
yet.
a little over.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. Overall.
Overall, 8.5. I like this a lot. I'm gonna get it probably anytime I can. I actually just turned down an opportunity because I hadn't tasted these yet.
Liar. Immediately, like not even a second after he said it, he already lied to you.
What are you talking
Saying,
about?
I'll probably get it anytime I can. Well, I turned down an opportunity. Literally.
No. What I'm saying is, I hadn't
tasted.
tasted. Now that I've tasted this, no, and granted, I'm sure this one isn't available all the time. However, the Zaftig experience I've had, which is only a couple, is but we'll have more. Don't you worry.
Teaser maybe.
Yeah, both have been positive, quite positive. So I'm thrilled with that. So we should probably move on.
Overall, I'll drop it to an 8.5.
Did I get my overall?
Yeah, you said 8.5.
Okay, I was gonna stay at 8.5.
We haven't even had a full beer. I promise you.
We're out of practice. Sorry.
Yeah, 8.5. It's great for the style, but once I compare it to everything else that I love in that upper echelon, you have to knock it down because of the things that I had already said. Did you like that? That was pretty streamlined there.
It was.
Mostly because we've been on for a while.
Well, not only that, but I mean, you do have a lot of options that are bigger, bolder.
Yeah, we'll show you that maybe. Anything else?
No, man. Check out Zaftig. I think it's worthwhile. Columbus, Ohio.
Well,
Greater Columbus, Ohio.
Technically,
Type it in your GPS.
Worthington, Ohio.
Yeah, we should give
code,
Worthington their shout out.
Zip code 43229.
Not huge, but they're doing some huge beers, it looks like. So
2DG.
2DG, man.